At the edge of Guilt City, storms and sorrow gather on the skyline, and all await the arrival of the Night Post.
Are you sure you don't want us to come in for a bit? You still look a little shaky.
She means you look like shit. What's Ashley gonna say when you walk in all disheveled?
I can make it to the door without getting lost, I promise. And I think a full house would probably stress him out.
And seeing you like this won't?
Y'all, I'll be okay. Are you taking Clementine home, Val?
Well, that was the plan, but
I asked if I could stay at their place another night. Daffodil has enough feed, and I'm not wild about being alone right now.
So forward of you, Miss Keys. I wonder what inspired you.
Please get out of here, Milo.
why are you so rosy-cheeked, Clem? Wait, what did I miss?
Nothing important. Have a good night, y'all. And if you hear anything about today, let me know, okay?
I can reach out to Will and see if she knows something more, too.
Of course you will.
I'm not part of this. Bye! Babe, I'm home. Sorry I forgot your dinner. A lot happened this afternoon. You left the fridge open. Love? Ashley? What the? Where did you just come from? Hey, babe, can you hear me?
Where? Did it happen again?
Apparently. Shit, you're so cold. Are you okay?
I feel like death.
You look like it. Sorry. I'll grab you something to drink. Don't move.
Hadn't planned to.
Here, try to finish it, okay?
Truly the best water I've ever had.
Do you remember anything this time?
Up to a point, I was coming downstairs to do something.
Okay. Anything else?
I was hungry. Am hungry, rather. Wait, Milo, what happened to you? Did you all wreck?
I'm okay, I promise. I don't think anything's broken, at least. Please, don't worry about it. Stop that.
Sorry, but...
I'll tell you after we get this settled. Promise. Let's just focus on one mystery at a time, alright?
If you're sure.
I am.
So, I came down the stairs and walked into the kitchen, I think. Went over to the fridge and meant to grab something, I don't know. And then I heard the knocking.
Wait, what knocking?
You've heard it before. When you came to save me, you said the knocking led you to me. And I fucking knew I shouldn't have gone to the door, but I was pulled to it. My body wasn't my own in that moment. I was screaming on the inside, but couldn't stop myself from taking step after step.
Oh, fucking hell. I'm so sorry that I...
And when I got to the door, it stopped. But I knew it wasn't gone.
What wasn't gone?
Oblivion.
I don't understand.
Couldn't stop myself. I tried so hard, Milo.
You're okay.
I'm not, though. Someone called me into the other and I went. And then you were here. Everything in between was just piercing, cold pain.
You shouldn't have to be going through this, babe. It's not fair.
When has life ever been about fairness? If it were, you wouldn't have been conscripted or...
No, we're not discussing that. It's only going to make you feel worse.
But...
I said no, Ashley.
Okay. But you still have to explain why you look like you were thrown out of a moving mail van.
It happened at the picnic. A lot did. Everyone was having a good old time buying overpriced post merch and downing greasy food. It was the most civil mass interaction between pigeons and civilians I've ever seen. Everything was going pretty great up until the bird watchers started fucking around. One moment I'm trying to shake Val down for one of their prizes, and the next was... chaos. They'd congregate in the middle of the picnic chanting some kind of spell, incantation. Whatever they did worked because the entire place was covered in vines and shit in minutes. They toppled the Ferris wheels and sent everyone into a panic.
And they did this to you?
No, I probably would have had an easier time handling them, honestly. I was trying to help a few people who'd been snared and a bunch of non-post people saw. Obviously, I was an easy target to blame. They ignored all the shit going on and ganged up on me.
But why would they hurt you for helping someone?
I was...
Milo, you're a terrible liar. Don't try.
I've... changed.
Well, I know that much.
More than I've let on, though. A lot more.
How so?
I can control plants?
Ah.
Yeah.
That's something you probably should have mentioned.
Why? You don't need something else to worry about. It's my problem to deal with, not yours.
And where do you think that gift came from?
Huh?
I wasn't just good at gardening, Milo. It was a skill I acquired a few years into being at the post.
So keeping a secret for years is better than me keeping one for a few weeks, apparently.
It wasn't like that, love. I promise. For a long time it wasn't anything wild, but I began to suspect it was more than just me having stumbled upon a hidden talent. And when I was snatched and taken to Gilt Tower, it all made sense. But by that point it didn't matter. I was trapped in a steel and linoleum box with no way out.
But why would we both... Oh, I'm your tether.
My what?
Tether. Serene said so right before they called you back from the other. That's why I went from killing anything I so much as looked at to what I can do now.
And why you're in the position you're in at all. Stuck in subservience to the post, wrapped up with supernatural zealots. If it weren't for me...
Ashley, look at me. Please. Don't blame yourself for this. It doesn't even matter why this happened to either of us, okay? Clementine, Val, and I are gonna fix this.
What we are, who we've become, I mean, maybe if it were just us, you three could figure it out, but that's not the case. I don't think we're capable of being fixed, especially me.
Will you stop? We will make things right again. Whatever it takes. You don't believe me, though, do you?
I believe in you, but from what I understand, this is not a cycle that can be easily broken. How can 3 people deviate from the inevitable?
We'll figure it out. I promise. Do you want help getting back up to bed?
I should be asking you the exact same thing.
Then we'll just lean on each other the whole way. Deal?
Deal.
I'll have to head out a bit early in the morning, okay? I need to meet with someone.
Who?
The best lead we've got.
Come in.
Hi.
Milo? Just you this time?
Yep, just me. Is that a problem, or...
No, not at all. It's just, usually it's the three of you against me. Sorry. It's not that I view you three as adversaries,
No, you're right. We've never exactly made things easy for you.
I hate to agree, but I agree. I'd like to think I'm not one to hold a grudge, though, so no hard feelings on my end. Mostly. Regardless, to what do I owe the visit? It's quite early.
I wanted to talk to you about Ashley.
I can only imagine it's a serious situation if you're willing to open up about him. Is he doing okay?
No, he's not. Well, ever since Ashley was brought back, he's been dealing with a condition.
And that would be...
He keeps blinking.
I don't see how that's a problem.
Like, blinking out of existence. One moment he's there and the next, gone. And when he comes back, his memory of what happened is always out of whack.
And Ashley has no idea of where he's going when this happens?
To the other, we assume. Last night was the worst blip yet. It's really shaken him. And me.
That's certainly something to be concerned about. I can't say I have any particular insight on this predicament, though I do wonder.
Please, I know I've been a dick, but literally anything would be helpful. I need my husband to get better, Nick.
After assisting with the evacuation efforts yesterday, I managed to track down a straggler associated with the bird watchers. They weren't terribly forthcoming with relevant information, but I did learn that their display was an attempt to intimidate the city government into, well, I don't really know. Mostly he just went on about how they'll be the ones to cure our modern world and such. The young man was either so scared he couldn't think clearly, or the whole group is just remarkably clueless, touting their pro-pigeon convictions at a post function only to pull such a dangerous stunt. The birdwatchers seem obsessed with the concept of the other without any functional understanding of it.
Awesome. They're fucking with forces that could cause our world to implode, and we're still floundering on the sidelines. I thought maybe you'd have some good news?
There's very little good news going around these days, but that wasn't all I managed to learn from the young man. While the consequences of their brashness were lost on him, the machinations of how they brought about their display were clear. After a bit of coaxing, I learned that they've recently secured a sort of power source through which they can more easily funnel the energy of the other. I initially assumed this to be a relic or other object, though after hearing about Ashley's affliction, I don't believe that's the case. The cultist said, "Our bait was also our catch."
Characteristically cryptic of a birdwatcher. Is that all?
Yes. He managed to slip away when I was distracted by a struggling civilian.
And that's it. Because I'm not seeing how this helps.
Really? Think about what we've discussed. I'd think it's an easy puzzle piece to place.
Our bait was also our catch. You think they're talking about him?
What reason did they give for offering to return Ashley to this plane?
Nothing specific. Just there was a show of support for the Oh, I'm so stupid.
I assume we've reached the same conclusion.
They used me to get to him. If I'm his tether, they needed me to bring him back. When they asked for blood...
Wait a moment. You agreed to a blood sacrifice? Surely that set off some sense of alarm in you.
It's not like that's what they led with when they contacted me, Nick. They sprung it on me before it started. Ugh, it doesn't matter. I'm so stupid. Somehow they knew about Ashley's connection to the other, and I gave them the key to exploiting it.
I'm afraid that's likely a correct assumption.
Thank you, Nick. Really. I need to go.
Are you sure? It's nice to have an actual conversation for a change, even if the subject matter is a bit dire.
Yeah, sorry. I need to check on Ashley. And then Clem, Val, and I have to find a way to make this right. I'll see you later for my shift.
Wait! Good luck, pigeons. I believe you're going to need it.
Yo, over here.
Hey, you two. Y'all made it here quick.
Of course, I wanted to get here before they ran out of crumb cake.
Too bad there's plenty of the stuff they're attempting to pass off as coffee.
I don't know why Val's complaining. That's her third cup.
Third? How long did I keep you waiting?
Not that long. 30 minutes?
3 cups and... You're gonna fly through your route tonight.
You mean they're gonna fly off the road? It seems like a bit too much caffeine for such a
muscular and athletic body. That's how you were gonna finish that, right?
Absolutely. How are you feeling after yesterday, Milo? I bet you're a little sore.
A little is underselling it. Everything aches, but I'll live. We do need to talk about yesterday, though.
Yeah. How did Ashley react?
Obviously he was upset, but we've got bigger problems.
How can we have bigger problems? Things are already bad.
Well, I finally had a one-on-one discussion with Nick this morning.
And I'm sure that went well.
Better than I expected. And I got some actual information we can use.
I really don't think we give that man enough credit for putting up with us. We've been pretty shitty to him.
With good reason. Don't forget that he only recently decided we were worth trusting at all.
That's not important right now. Do you both remember how the Birdwatchers have been so coy about why they helped us and brought Ashley back in the first place?
Yeah?
Mm-hmm.
We think it's because they're using him to channel the energy of the other.
And how did you figure that out?
I didn't. Nick did. After the commotion yesterday, he interrogated one of the Birdwatchers that didn't cut out quick enough. When Nick asked why they were doing it, the guy seemed a little scrambled, and Nick wasn't able to make much sense of it. It was just more of the modernity is a curse nonsense.
They can't be that fucking short-sighted, right? Anyone with a brain cell to spare can tell that yesterday wasn't deliberate chaos. No way the whole organization is that dumb, not after everything else they've orchestrated.
The only real motive we can figure is that they want to permeate everything with the energy of the other. The Skelter is already a supernatural hotspot. It's a keg just waiting to be tapped. But even if we haven't completely discerned the why, I think we know how they're managing it.
It's Ashley, isn't it?
Yeah, I think so. According to Nick, the guy was sure about one thing. One of their higher-ups found out about Ashley's connection to the other. I don't know how, but they did. And when they found out I was connected to him, it all fell in place for them. They used me to get to him.
But how does that explain all the damage they caused yesterday? If the Birdwatchers have that kind of power, why does Ashley matter?
He didn't say, but Nick and I pieced it together. They used me to bring him back, and now they're using him as an energy source, or some kind of conduit for their own powers. Remember what Serene and the Reverend called me that night?
Tether, right?
Exactly. They couldn't get to him without going through me. The blood sacrifice was both a medium through which they completed the ritual and a way for them to get to Ashley.
So, every time he has one of those episodes...
It's the Birdwatchers using him to drain power out of the other?
I think so. Or at least most of the time. Ashley had a really bad episode yesterday. We think he was gone for hours.
Which would line up with the fuckery the cult caused at the picnic. Shit. So, what does that mean for Ashley?
I don't know, but if we're able to destroy what they're using to channel that energy, we can stop them from meddling anymore and save Ashley.
But Serene said... never mind.
Wait, what did she say? Did I miss something?
You didn't hear her yesterday? When we were walking away?
No. What's wrong?
She said,
"Enjoy your time with Ashley while it lasts."
It's probably just more of her mind games. She knew what they were planning for the picnic and wanted to put us off kilter is all. And I bet she didn't count on you figuring the rest of this out. I wouldn't worry about it, bud.
And are you sure that's all she said, Clementine?
I think so. It was all so loud, maybe I misheard her.
Look, I know this is important, but we've got more immediate crises to worry about. Milo.
What?
You're not listening.
Yes, I am.
Shh, Will you two hush? People are staring.
Let them stare.
No, Clem's right. Sorry I yelled, but this is just as important as whatever's going on with Ashley. Have you listened to the news today?
No, I went straight to the station this morning. Why?
We deliver mail. Surely you at least read the headline of the newspaper.
I've had a lot going on, okay? Just spit it out.
In case you haven't noticed, and you obviously haven't, the whole city is up in arms over that big display yesterday. They've had crowds at City Hall and Gilt Tower demanding that the Post be shut down.
Because it all happened at a pigeon picnic?
Because someone played the hero. And once people started talking, it only took a few hours before everyone was saying the Post was responsible for all of it.
So they all just conveniently forgot about the clan of ghouls chanting in the middle of the madness?
No, but they did spend an entirety of the event canvassing as supporters of the Post, remember? Whatever the birdwatchers' motive was, it doesn't matter. They've just made things much more complicated for us.
That's why we had to ride here on Daffodil instead of using the van, which I will not be doing again, by the way.
You are being such a baby. She only bucked once, and that's because you were yelling at her to slow down.
Well, it explains why you asked me not to come in my uniform.
Yep. Didn't want you gorging on knuckle sandwiches before you could fill up on all this gourmet bean juice.
We've already heard a few pigeons talking about a strike.
Public opinion of the Post is about as low as it can be. What if the overlords at Gilt Tower decide now's the time to pull the plug on the whole operation?
Oh boy.
An understatement, my guy. If the stations are shuttered and pigeons can't complete their routes, a lot of people could get hurt.
Or much, much worse.
It's just one thing after another. When do we get a break?
When we're dead, I reckon.
Thank you for joining us on tonight's Route. If you'd like to support Station 103, consider joining our Patreon for weekly bonus stories and early episode access. Or check out our Redbubble and coffee shops for Night Post merch and digital story collections. Send a letter to your inner saboteur and tell them about the Night Post.
Are you a dreamer? Are you a complicated being in an equally complicated and often painful world, cherishing the glimmers of hope that shine through the blanket of black pines? Close your eyes and be enthralled by the smooth tones of Nikignik, your eldritch guide to the northern Hallowwoods. Hello from the Hallowwoods is a weekly audio drama podcast following the interconnected lives of queer survivors and uncanny beings, delivered directly to your dreaming mind. This beautifully rendered tale of humanity and courage in the face of the unknown can be found wherever you get your podcasts, and at hellofromthehallowwoods.com. Come stay a while in the forest at the end of the world.